Okay.
So, welcome to the press conference by Finnish and Estonian Prime Minister, Mr. Petteri Orpo, and Mr. Kristen Michal. And first, remarks by Prime Minister, Mr. Orpo, please.
Thank you so much and warmly welcome to Kesäranta. Dear colleague, dear Kristen, a warm welcome to Helsinki, and once more congratulations on your new government. I am happy to host you here in Finland for your very first visit as Prime Minister. I very much appreciate our discussions today and yesterday. I have had an excellent cooperation with your predecessor, Kaja, and I'm confident that our cooperation will continue at the same level. We started with Prime Minister yesterday in a very Finnish and Estonian way in sauna. During our discussions, I noticed we have very similar background, both working in politics for a long time in different roles. Today our bilateral relations are excellent, and Estonia is one of our closest allies. Our peoples share strong ties. Our societies and economies are linked bilaterally and within the EU. In fact, Estonia is a bigger trading partner of goods to us than United Kingdom or France. Finally, we are also military allied in NATO. Our government shares some priorities: security, green transition, and economy. We work for these priorities domestically and at EU level. We discussed today our support for Ukraine and the security in the Baltic Sea region. We both agree that Russia cannot win its war. We have to support Ukraine in its fight against Russia's illegal war. Russia's illegal war in Ukraine has shown the importance of defense industry to produce critical defense material. Finland has increased its ammunition production 5 times. It needs to happen in the whole EU as well. We need to step up our defense industry cooperation. This is a shared business opportunity, but also shared security landscape. Energy production and infrastructure are also important areas in our cooperation. We need to move quicker towards green transition. Our companies and consumers will benefit from cheaper energy prices and new opportunities in hydrogen economy. We have many shared interests in EU, and we need to work in EU issues more closely. We need to strengthen Europe's strategic competitiveness and comprehensive security. The EU must become a stronger global power with an effective foreign and security policy to defend our common interests. Here I believe that Ursula von der Leyen's new Commission will deliver and work for a more competitive and secure European Union. Once again, welcome to Kesäranta.
Thank you.
And Prime Minister Michal, please.
Thank you. Dear Petteri, dear journalists, first of all, I want to sincerely thank you, Petteri, for the very warm welcome I received yesterday. Two prime ministers discussing politics and world affairs in sauna shows well how close we are, both culturally and politically.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that I had the opportunity to make my first official visit as Prime Minister to Finland. As friends, neighbors and allies, we have excellent bilateral ties. Continued close cooperation remains priority for me and my government too. As a border countries of the European Union and NATO, we face common challenges to our security. We have already notably raised our defense spendings, but we must keep working hard to further increase defense readiness whole Europe. Similarly to Finland, Estonia remains a steadfast supporter to Ukraine my government has pledged and will continue to provide 0.25% of our GDP as military support to Ukraine. We also have to keep working on strengthening sanctions and making Russia accountable. Eventually, it has to be Russia, not our taxpayer, who picks up the bill, who pays for the damage inflicted in Ukraine. Helping Ukraine with Russian frozen assets themselves, not only the profits, would be a good start for that. Dear friends, Finland is also Estonia's main trading partner, and this means that your success is also very important to our well-being and vice versa. Our governments are working together to increase investments in defense and security and restore confidence as the basis for growth in our economy. Prosperity and security go well together. We also discussed yesterday and today our common goals and cooperation in the EU. We both support stronger single market-based competition and equal opportunities. Together, we will continue working on reducing bureaucracy and fully use the potential of digital transition both in EU and regionally. Better connectivity in the Nordic-Baltic region remains our shared goal. Be it Rail Baltic, energy, data connection, so on. I'm glad that works also are ongoing on the new electricity connection Estlink 3 we were talking about. This will further help to increase the energy security in our region and ensure affordable energy prices for our consumers and companies. And I'm also very thankful for our excellent cooperation on repairing the critical underwater infrastructure and developing plans for its better protection in the future. Thank you. Paljon kiitoksia.
Kiitos.
Then we go to questions, and please use microphone and mention your name and your media you represent. We start with the YLE, Finnish Broadcasting Company.
My name is Risto Mattila, and I am from Finnish Broadcasting Company. I have a question for both of you, please. About the broken Baltic Connector pipeline. China media claims that there has been an investigation, and result is an accident by their ship. Has Finland and Estonia received information of the results officially? And is it possible that Russia has still something to do with the case?
If I may start, at first I want to say that we have done an excellent cooperation on this issue with Estonia. In the very beginning of this what has happened. This question is still under investigation, and our National Bureau of Investigation, KRP, has told to the public Finnish and Estonian authorities be working in cooperation with Chinese authorities on this matter. And I'm sorry, but this is all what I can say in political level at this moment, because investigation is not closed. If you have more questions and details, you have to ask from police on this issue. But we are doing close cooperation, and I'm also happy that China and Chinese authorities have been cooperative. But we cannot do any conclusions before we have investigation. But I promise that when the investigation is ready, we will tell all.
Yep. I agree with Petteri that Estonian and Finnish cooperation in this case has been, as usual, in different critical infrastructure objects, is working very well and smoothly. We have been in different contacts on official and non-official level. And right now the Finnish have the lead in investigating. Finnish police has the lead of investigating. Estonia and Finland have made official requests to China for different documentations on the case. So we have certain acknowledgements, but as Petteri said, that until the case is closed and until the investigation has closed, we cannot give the final conclusions about that. But hopefully these kind of developments will clear up who will pick up the bill, but we will see. The investigation is still ongoing.
Does Estonian media have any questions? Please.
Yes, hello. My name is Taru Mats and I'm from the Estonian newspaper Postimees. I would like to ask about the Helsinki tunnel. How far is the project? When will the tunnel be ready?
It's a very, very good question. Thank you for that. I think that it's part of our future. We have to strengthen our connection between Finland and Estonia, between Helsinki and Tallinn. It's a huge project. But for Finland, I see that connection from Finland via Estonia to Europe, it's crucial. At this time when our border is closed, maybe decades to east, we need those connections, and that's why we have to continue with this project.
As Tarmo knows, I'm more tunnel enthusiast than maybe in public, but I have been with the tunnel project for a long time, and as a Minister of Economy and Infrastructure with the previous colleagues, Anne Berner, we wrote a MOU and started in different researches about that. As Petteri mentioned, that if you look at Estonia and Finland, for us, good connections, strong connections, put it like very mildly, that the wider the pipe is, people and goods can be moving, the better for us and our economy. So the possibility in the future to have Estonia and Finland connected between Tallinn and Helsinki with a tunnel, I would say I had a dream and I had a possibility, and I was making a promise to Estonian public that before I go to pension, the tunnel would be on the way, that as a pensioner I can use it to go to Helsinki. But this is with a joke, but good thing is that all the governments are moving the pension age, so we can move also with the tunnel. So I'm still hopeful, and with Petteri I know that we're working together. So, yeah.
Then we take lady in the first row.
Thank you so much. Elina Kervinen, Helsingin Sanomat. My question is for both of you and about Ukraine. Ukraine has advanced in the area of Kursk in the last days. In your opinion, how will this affect the war, and will it somehow affect the possibilities to advance towards peace talks? And then secondly, have you or NATO countries discussed the situation with Ukraine after the attack began? Thank you.
Yeah. To be honest, we don't discuss all the operations Ukraine is doing, but from our view, we support the Ukrainian fight for freedom every way we can, with money, with different goods we can produce. So, we fully support Ukraine in different operations to liberate their country and to achieve the victory. And yes, to be honest, on my personal level, I wish them luck.
At first, I want to remind all that Russia has started its illegal aggression against Ukraine almost 3 years ago. Every day they attacked against Ukrainian people, cities, hospitals, schools, infrastructure. And that's why I think that Ukraine has the right to self-defense, and it's clear that they can do their operation in Kursk. But our duty is to support Ukraine as long and as much as needed. It's still only way to stop Putin and have a peace by Ukrainian terms.
Any other questions by Estonian journalists? If not, Mr. Nurmi, please.
Lauri Nurmi from the Finnish newspaper Iltalehti. A question for both prime ministers. Does Russia pose a threat to Estonia and Finland? I mean that, for example, President Zelensky has pointed out many, many times that if Mr. Putin wins his war in Ukraine, Baltic nations could perhaps be the next in the row. And what after that? I would like to hear your assessment. Thank you.
Yeah, if I may start, to be honest, Russia is the threat to all NATO countries. NATO has identified Russia as a threat. I would say that Estonia, Baltics, and also Finns know Russia well. What is for us is a politeness, is weakness for them. So we have no illusions about Russia and their territorial ideas, to be honest. So Russia right now, the attack against NATO countries is not probable because they are engaged in Ukraine. But from our view, the fight in Ukraine is also a fight for freedom and also ensuring that the aggression does not pay and cannot end well. And Russia has also to pay for all the damages done in Ukraine. To ensuring those things that Russia loses, Ukraine wins, and Russia pays for all the damages done, that probably will take away the capability and also the wish to attack different NATO countries and European countries. But Russia is a threat, credible threat, and we have increased our defense expenditure, and we will procure new ammo in years to come. That is also the basis because Estonia will have a new wide security tax for that for 3 years, and also budget cuts as does Finland. So yes, Russia is a threat and we will address it accordingly and support Ukraine.
Yes. I strongly agree with Prime Minister. It's clear that Russia is a permanent threat against Europe, against Baltic countries, against Finland. And that's why we cannot let Putin win in Ukraine. It's clear. And what we have to do, we have to support Ukraine as much as and as long as needed. But at the same time, we need European deterrence. Every single member state, but also in European level. And it's good that today we both are members of NATO. Now we can prepare our defense together. We can practice together. Bilaterally in Baltic Sea region and with our NATO allies. But it's clear that Russia is a permanent threat and only thing that Putin believes is power. That's why we have to take care together, also in the European Union, that the European Union boosts our defense industry. We need more own capacity, industrial capacity, and this is one crucial, the key issues in next Commission's program.
I assume we have time for one or two more questions. Please, back there.
Laura Pylväinen from MTV News. A question for both ministers. Germany has issued a European arrest warrant against a Ukrainian diver after he is suspected participating blowing up the Nord Stream gas pipelines. What is your outcome of this turn of events, or how surprising you find this, and who could be behind the planning of these explosions?
I think that this is also the question of under investigation, and in political level I cannot give any comments on this issue because I don't have enough knowledge, but we are looking very carefully what is happening.
That is the moment when I say completely agree with Petteri. Everything is said.
Okay, let's take the last question, if any. Right there.
Thank you. Freddy Vasa from the Svenska Yle in Finland. The Russian opposition in exile against Putin, how can Finland and Estonia support it in any way, and can Finland and Estonia support it broadly, that is all the opposition against Putin regardless of their ideology? Thank you.
The situation of opposition in Russia, it's terrible, and of course we have to support opposition in Russia because we have seen what kind of Russia under Putin's control we have today. But for this also, the question and answer is to stop Putin in Ukraine. I think it's best way to support also opposition in Russia.
Yeah, I agree with Petteri that the first thing is that Russia, with its imperialistic mindset, understands its force and power. So if, let's say, Baltic, Nordics, Europe, and all the allies in NATO help Ukraine to win, and Russia has to pay for that for many years to come and understand what has happened, that is probably the best way to have Russia turn in its way, because we have known Russia for many years and years to come, and they have ideas about their neighbors for a long time and from Europe. And for what is for us is democracy, for them is a weakness. So, and with opposition is also using different European countries as safe havens. But to be honest, the only way to stop Putin is by ending the war with Ukraine's victory. So that's why we are supporting with everything we got.
That's the end of the press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Petter. Yeah. Aha, okay.
No.